Chris and I practiced, and so we'll be recording. So I hope that's okay with everyone.
Yes. All right. Thank you. So let's kick off. I was going to say ladies and gentlemen, but I see only one lady. So lady and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to all to the virtual ceremony to memorialize the new Memorandum of Understanding between the Maritime Administration and Tall Ships America. Special welcome to the Honorable Maritime Administrator, Admiral Mark H. Busby, and the Chair of the Board, Tall Ships America, Esquire Michael Rowan. Almost 9 years ago, in January 2012, a memorandum of cooperation was executed between the Maritime Administration and Tall Ships America right here in our building in Washington, D.C. A lot has happened over the years within both our organizations. For us, our commitment toward the education and training of our mariners has gone up several notches demonstrably in the last few years. And for you, Tall Ships America, your vision is on a course toward greater integration with the broader maritime workforce development. This has led us toward a new full-fledged memorandum of understanding that reflects our mutual efforts toward maritime workforce development appropriate for the changing world while still retaining our core values. We are happy to be part of this voyage, and I now invite Dr. Chris Von Wall, Executive Director of Tall Ships America, to make her comments. Chris?
Thank you very much. It is really an absolute pleasure to be here. It's kind of strange to do it in this environment, but actually we're revolutionizing everything as we go along, so this is fantastic. Thank you very much, Dr. Kumar Shashi, for opening this up. I just want to make just kind of a brief opening. I started with Tall Ships America in early 2019, and pretty much the first course of business for me was to attend our annual conference. And our theme that year, 2019, was raising our sales, raising the workforce, and had the absolute pleasure of meeting you, Administrator Busby, who gave our keynote address. And it was amazing to be able to hear just from the very beginning that we were an important element of helping to build the workforce for a qualified, skilled mariners, not only for the whole ship community, but for the maritime industry at large. This theme didn't start with me. It definitely had been going on long before I joined Tall Ships America, but it aligned with my belief and commitment to youth development through adventurous and outdoor activities, and the strong dedication to the idea that young people become better members of the workforce when they have had an experience like a Tall Ships experience, where they gain skills and confidence to be part of contributing members of society and of a workforce. And then, of course, that 2019 conference was followed by our 2020 conference, where the theme was Tall Ships for the 21st Century. And Dr. Kumar came and gave a keynote address at that conference. Obviously building on the theme here, and we were able to articulate the value of the tall ships in providing essential training in seafaring skills, nautical sciences, and leadership to meet the needs of a modern maritime industry. Tall Ships America has had our memorandum of cooperation in place since 2012, and it's just a source of really great enthusiasm and encouragement in our industry that we can, in these very strange times, be able to have an upgraded and refreshed memorandum of understanding between our two organizations. The MOU articulates our shared commitment to youth education and leadership development, focusing particularly on working collaboratively to enhance diversity and inclusion within the maritime workforce, building awareness about the marine industry and secondary maritime education and training opportunities, and promoting careers. We're going to be doing this with Be Practical, and we're going to be doing all of this through and with our sail training programs and Tall Ships fleet, all of our member organizations, and I just can't be excited at the possibilities that we have to preserve and build the legacy of sail training in the tall ships in collaboration with MARAD. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Warnwald. And now we will have comments from two members of the Tall Ships America. First, it's Captain Mark Sibinico of Galveston Historic Foundation and the Bar Kalisa, followed by Captain Jonathan Quebec, Oliver Hazard Perry of Rhode Island. Captain Mark Sibinico, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sashi, so much. I'm delighted to be here serving as a director of the Tall Ships America on the board of directors here. I'm really delighted to see this MOU between both parties. I owe my career in maritime to Tall Ships. They gave me purpose, they gave me a career, and they have continued to do so. And I am just delighted to see any opportunity that will get others and other students encouraged and interested in the maritime trades. Nestled here in Texas, we're connected to all sectors of the maritime industry, from inland to offshore to shipyards to you name it. And I believe, and I think lots of us believe, that a sail-trained mariner is a high-quality mariner. And the skills learned on open decks are lessons that have served our industry well for hundreds of years. And I think are necessary skills to build a quality workforce all around in the maritime trades and the maritime sector. So here in Texas, I think we greatly benefit the Galveston Historical Foundation as a member of Tall Ships America. Some of our partnerships with San Jacinto College here, with Texas City ISD here that's promoting maritime trade. They can only benefit from the larger sailing community in partnership with MARAD to advance opportunities for students seeking to join this industry. So I'm really grateful to be a part of this signing today, and I hope great things come from this alliance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Captain. Jonathan, over to you.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to be part of this event today. While sitting here, I was just thinking the vessel pictured over my shoulder here is the schooner Summerwind, and it is the platform upon which I had the occasion both to meet you, Dr. Kumar, during your time at Kings Point, and also Admiral Busby upon bringing the ship to call into Washington, D.C. a number of years ago. But I think it really is exemplary of what I hope to speak about today. So for me, intersection of the modern merchant mariner educational process and sail training was the defining moment in my career. And that was during my time as director of sail training at the Merchant Marine Academy. You know, I think it's important to recognize that the more shipping progresses technologically, the more essential it becomes that the development and training of merchant mariners is built upon a bedrock of traditional seamanship and seafaring. This was understood by Captain Prosser, Kings Point's legendary sailing master, who prior to his time at the Academy served in command of HMCS Oriole, the Canadian Navy's sail training ship. But he was certainly not alone. And the best example I could find at shorthand was in the highly regarded text Ship Handling for the Mariner, where the author notes that the need to add sail training to the curriculum of our maritime school. Apart from the importance but more esoteric benefits of sail training, such as self-discipline, attention to tasks at hand, and appreciation of the demands of the ocean environment, there are more important direct benefits. The skills required to navigate and handle a ship being affected by wind and current are as important today as they were in the years of the Downeasters. And these seafaring skills can be best learned by working a ship under sail. As MARAD embarks on the construction of 21st century training ships for the Maritime Academy, it is the perfect time to strengthen the connection with sail training. The value is apparent and the opportunities are plentiful. Whether it's the addition of the Ernestina Morrissey to the Mass Maritime Fleet, or our own efforts at OHPRI, Oliver Hazard Perry, Rhode Island, in our newly launched Maritime Workforce Training Program in partnership with the Community College of Rhode Island, where we're getting those whose livelihoods were impacted by COVID back to work. Much like the ocean, the opportunities are vast. So I would just like to take this opportunity to congratulate the Maritime Administration and Tall Ships America on this auspicious occasion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jonathan. Now I would like to invite Admiral Busby to deliver his comments, which will focus on maritime workforce development. Sir, over to you. So you're on mute, sir.
Yeah, I muted myself out to try and keep the interference down. Maybe it was better that way. No, I'll try not to. It's wonderful to be with you all this morning, if only virtually. I really wish that we could all be sitting down together and spinning some yarns and doing it on the deck of one of our vessels, but this will just have to do. At any rate, I'm really excited to be part of this very important statement of intent on both of our parts to go forward together, because what you do is important. What we do is important together. We are mutually supportive and are in a position to really help each other, and in so doing, help our industry. It's as was underscored by both Mark and Jonathan. A true mariner is one who has been under sail and who has felt that deck pitch under his or her feet and held a piece of line in their hand and had to put their back into it. And in all of my time at sea, clearly anyone who has ever been under sail was the better mariner. They just had a better appreciation for the elements. They had a better appreciation for vessel handling. It all sort of came together in a lot clearer focus when you're out on a sailing vessel, and that has been my experience anytime I've been under sail. And admittedly, I don't have any of the sea time that you gentlemen have under sail. You probably have more time backing down underway at night with right full rudder than I have underway going forward. All very, very critical, and every time out there, it just reinforced for me, how beneficial it was. And I think, it's going forward in our maritime industry that I believe is set to grow fairly substantially with wind energy coming on board and a lot of the other things that are going to be happening in our coastal waters here. That's going to require a significant increase in our workforce. And, those are coastal waters by and large, and many of them are the waters that you all ply. And I think that, the feeding ground that you all are going to provide to nurture those young mariners that are going to go out there and then hopefully safely operate in our industry, it's really going to be important to have that source to draw upon, as well as sending deep sea mariners as we always have. Very, very important. And all of the studies point to the fact that we're going to have a very well educated and enlightened workforce going out there. And it's increasingly challenging to entice young people to want to have a life at sea. It's certainly not the glamour that it once was in the older days, and I guess I now include myself in those older days. But there still is a call. Training programs, I think, magnifies that call as loud as it could possibly be magnified going forward. And for that, we're grateful, which is why it's such an important piece of what we're trying to do at the Maritime Administration in terms of preparing that workforce for the future, ensuring we have enough mariners to go do this nation's economic and national security bidding. So, to me, this was a no-brainer. This was, the good solid roots that we want to have in any kind of a education and training program going forward. So I'm thrilled to be in this role, in this position at this time, carrying forth what I know my mentor, Captain Joe Prosser, would be very pleased to have me be doing, and would be saying, "My son, you're doing a good thing," and I think so too. So thanks, Captain Joe. And Sashi, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Now over to Michael Rowood, Chair of the Board, Tall Ships America. Sir?
Thanks, Dr. Kumar, and good morning, everybody. I'm very pleased to join you all here today so that we can strengthen the bond that we've been building between MARAD and Tall Ships America, which has very proudly seen keynote addresses by Admiral Busby and Dr. Kumar at the last two Tall Ships America annual conferences. We're a small but proud segment of the U.S. flagged fleet. We're not, of course, at the head of the class in terms of gross tonnage or aggregate revenue, but we do lead the fleet in terms of stirring interest in the minds of young people in particular. So that attribute functions akin to a magnetic field, which draws young people into the influence of the workforce development programs at the heart of the memorandum that we're doing today. I like to think that Tall Ships America is doing what is called adaptive reuse in the world of historic preservation ashore. Now, of course, it's fitting to do this because training officers for service in steamships is what allowed sailing ships to survive the advent of steam power. We're seeing a comparable revolution today in industrial shipping, what with hybrid electric ships, autonomous ships, Flettner rotors, and kite sails, not to mention adapting to COVID on the horizon and approaching fast. Accordingly, the programs that Tall Ships America will develop in collaboration with MARAD and partners like Alyssa and the Oliver Hazard Perry program will reach far beyond the original skills of seamanship to build forward-looking adaptability into tomorrow's maritime workforce. So my pen and I are ready to take this next very constructive step arm in arm with MARAD. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. So now we are on to the formal signing ceremony. We have never done one of these before, but like true sailors, we'll make it happen. So, Mike, if you can please sign the document.
Certainly. There you go.
Great. I'm going to do my Jimmy Fallon. Okay.
All right, so we'll clap our hands.
Excellent.
Done. Congratulations.
Huzzah!
Huzzah,
Yeah, right.
huzzah.
Thank you. So at this point, we turn over to Dr. Chris Von War for her perception of some of the next steps.
Great, thank you for that. I mean, I think this is very exciting. I have chills. I'm excited about, and I love being at the forefront of these virtual events. So paving the road for everybody else. As I said, I'm really interested in making this practical. So we will be working with our member vessels to use the models that Alyssa and Oliver Hazard Perry have on the go, as well as some of our other members at working hand in hand with the community and technical colleges and developing the Maritime Centers of Excellence. We are going to be we're in the middle of and working on a modern apprenticeship program that will help develop pathways for young people to enter, to start the journey on the maritime career ladder. And Nick Hardesty, who is with Tall Ships America here on the call today, will be leading that on our team. And we're very excited about what that will look like for helping young people gain credentials and experience on board. And then, of course, we're going to be using the platform of the Tall Ships around the fleet, at the dock, on board, to be able to promote the opportunities for sail training, for youth development, for marine biology and ecology and environmental protection, and all of the huge variety of careers that are available to people in the blue economy and in the maritime industry. Thank you again to Admiral Busby, to Dr. Kumar, to our board of directors led by Mike Raworth, our chair. And to the team at MARAD and Tall Ships America, who are all going to make this happen collaboratively over the next several years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm going to make some final closing comments. To me personally, maritime education and training is at a very historic stage in this country. As an example, today I start with tall ships, and my last meeting of the day is with sea machines, where we are going to talk about artificial intelligence and integrating that within the curriculum at the academies, all within 1 day's 8 hours. So we have at this point 4,300 cadets enrolled in our 7 maritime academies, and at this point, close to 70 maritime high schools nationwide that provide some level of specialized maritime track within their curriculum. And as was mentioned earlier by Jonathan, we are about to start the construction of the nation's first ever purpose-built training ship. Not just one, but 5 of those, which will truly alter the very foundations of hands-on at sea training for future cadets. And in 3 weeks from today, our team within MARAD will start reviewing community colleges, technical colleges, maritime training centers for possible nomination as centers of excellence for domestic maritime workforce training and education, expanding our historic mission, one that was focused primarily on blue water mariners, to the far broader ecosystem of domestic maritime workforce development. These are indeed exciting times for us here in MARAD, and we are delighted to have Tall Ships America join us through this new partnership. I mentioned this during my meeting, my talk in February in Florida with Tall Ships America. I've always been, and I continue to be, intrigued by the tagline on TSA's website. Sail training is not about learning to sail. It is about learning from sailing, from the ship, from the sea, and from yourself. On behalf of my colleagues here at MARAD, we look forward to making that happen, pursue and inspire the next generation of maritime workforce for the nation's economic and national security that Admiral Busby referred to. Thank you all. This concludes the ceremony. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well done.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
Great.
Yeah.
So we will exchange the documents once all